Welcome to the Aquaflow Crypto Lab. So guys, as usual, this is the update of the week. I'm going to talk about XRP in this video. As you may know, the market is currently playing with us. We are going up, then down, then up, then down. But don't fall for it. Keep the big picture in mind, and I will break everything down in this video. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. Now, let's begin. So this is the 2 months analysis, right? And currently, as you can see, XRP is fighting with this line going up, because just right here, you can see that we are not able to break above this line and to go up. And as you know, this candle will close at the end of August. That's why the close of this candle is key, because if this candle is able to close above this line, it will be very bullish. But it's been 3 years. 3 years that we are fighting with this line. Remember, in 2022, just right here, it was the very first time after crossing this line to the downside, we went up and we hit it for the very first time from below. Then it was here. Huge rejection to the downside. And as you can see, at the same time, we were using the blue line and the orange line as a strong resistance. It is like a band, right? And when we hit and we penetrated the band, we got rejected to the downside. Here, it was the same thing. We hit the blue line, but we got rejected and we closed below the line, right? Here, we went up, but huge rejection to the downside. And again, we closed below the lines. And again, it was the same thing just right here with this candle. We hit both lines and we got rejected to the downside. We reached the bottom of the channel, and then with this huge green candle, we went up and finally we were able to close above the lines. And we reached the skyline indicator and this orange box. But still, we just hit here the golden resistance, and here again, and here again, and currently this is exactly what we are doing. And at the same time, we have this orange line serving as a strong support, because we have our breakout to the upside, then we went sideways, but we hit here the orange line, but from above this time, and we started using this line as a support. And with this candle, this is a strong indecision candle. Why? Because here we crossed the blue line, meaning that now the blue line is a resistance. But we stayed above the orange line, meaning that the orange line is still a support. And this is the reason why you see that currently XRP is still fighting to close above the blue line. Because since this candle closed below the blue line, here the blue line became a strong resistance. But as you can see, the orange line keeps going up. This means that for the next candle, XRP will have to decide to either go above and stay above the orange line or stay below the blue line. But if we stay below the blue line, the next candle will be below the orange line, and this will be very bearish because we will have both lines above us, and this will mean that the resistance will be stronger. But as we keep pushing, as we keep touching the line again and again and again, my guess is that XRP wants to break it. Anyway, we will know pretty soon the outcome of the current candle. So the current candle is the candle of July and August, and the next candle will be September and October. So before November, we should know if XRP will cross or not those two lines, but definitely if it will be able to cross above the golden resistance. So now what about the importance level? So here you can see that we hit the golden resistance, which is for the current candle around $3.65, which is currently the XRP all-time high. The blue line is currently around $3.06. The orange line is around $2.51. And the top of the orange box is currently around $2.75. And at the same time, we count on the sky indicator in blue, because as you remember, every time that the skyline indicator penetrates here, the orange box, we may have a top for XRP. So for example, here you have the orange box, you have the skyline indicator, you have XRP that was attracted to this area. The same thing here, we have the skyline going up, 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 it penetrated here, the orange box, and we have the price that went from here to here because it was again attracted to the same area. Then again, you have the skyline like this going down, it penetrated the orange box, and the price went from here to here because it was again attracted to this area. More recently, it was the case just from here. And as the next orange box is around here, we really expect XRP to be pushed to the upside when the skyline indicator will penetrate this orange box. Of course, this is pure speculation, guys, because I repeat again, it's really hard to anticipate the next top, and we cannot know for sure how far XRP will go. But from this analysis, you can understand why it makes sense. And for the reminder for these orange boxes, you can see that I used here the price from Bitcoin from the previous markets, so the top and the bottom, and I draw this orange box. Then you see with the green line, I have the top of Bitcoin and the bottom of Bitcoin, and this is the second box. And here you see that I have this top and this bottom, and I draw this box, and it is the third box. So if the skyline indicator continues like this, we should reach here the third box by the end of the year. And the skyline can stay in the box for a while before we reach the area. For example, you see here, we penetrated here the box with this, but we stayed in the box for a long time before the surge of the price, right? Here it was the same thing. We have the skyline penetrating here, the area, the orange area just right here, but we stayed inside it before reaching it. And here it was the same. We penetrated the orange area just right here, but we stayed inside it before having the price attracted to the area. So this means that penetrating here the orange area doesn't mean necessarily that XRP will be attracted right away to the same area. We may have the skyline indicator staying inside the box for a while before reaching the indicator. And now let's have a closer look at what's going on just right here in this area. So we have the golden resistance, and if we zoom in, I switched to the daily time frame to have a real closer look. So as I explained earlier, we have the golden resistance. So we reached this area just right here, and we had a strong rejection to the downside. And where did we go? We went all the way down to reach the top of this orange box, as I said. And right now XRP is bouncing from the top here to the orange box, from the top to the orange box, etc. And now we have this local resistance. And as you can see here, it was the top. Then we started having this resistance. Here we hit it multiple times, but we were not able to close above it. And more recently, yesterday, look what happened. We reached it again and we had this rejection to the downside. So right now XRP is stuck in this cycle, and we should know pretty soon if this resistance will win or if we will be able to break above it and finally to break above the golden resistance. And these two lines cross the 22nd of September. So this means that we should have an answer before this date. I want also to share some updates about the bull bear wave. So as you know, XRP hit the wave just right here. I mean, it was the shadow because the wave is in green and orange, and we are still way above the wave, which is really good. But in bull markets, we don't want to cross the shadow, and the shadow is in gray. And a few weeks ago, it was really bullish because as soon as we hit the shadow, we went up, right? And we reached a new all-time high. But after reaching this new all-time high, we went down to retest the shadow as a support before going up again. So this is why this looks really scary. And on this chart, there is a novelty because I highlighted an important line in the shadow. And why is this line important? Let's look left, right? It's because, for example, you can see that just right here, we hit it during the SEC sell-off and we bounced from it. Then we reached a local top. So we reached this local top, right? And we went all the way down to retest the shadow, but specifically this line. And it is after crossing this line just right here, so let me circle it, that the price started accelerating and we transitioned officially into a bear market. So now you understand why this line is key. So I don't want to cross it. And as you can see here, last week, we just touched this line and we went up. We closed above it. And currently, you can see that we are sitting on this line. And next week, we will be in September. That's why it's not a coincidence that the price is currently retesting this line. It's because what will happen after this will be key. Either we cross this line and we will start to get very, very bearish, especially if we go below the shadow, the complete shadow, and not only below this highlighted line. But if we cross it, it will already look very bearish. Either we are able to bounce from this level and to go up. So I hope it's clear. The next days will be very interesting to watch. Currently, the line is around $2.93. So remember this level. I want to keep the video pretty short, so the last chart of the day will be the cloud chart. This is the chart that warned us that XRP would potentially go down. Indeed, we had these two warnings, like when we were there, you see, we had a strong rejection to the downside, here strong rejection to the downside. So here we had a strong rejection to the downside and we retested here the cloud indicator. So here we expected some kind of correction because we knew that the price was overbought. So it's not a surprise to see those red candles. But this is good news actually, because as long as we remain above the cloud indicator, we are still in a bull market. And when we have a reset like this, we can start becoming explosive again. So if you want to track what will happen with us, as we are witnessing some critical times right now, please consider subscribing to the channel and give me a thumbs up. That's all for today's video, and as always, time will tell.